Real with Al Sharpton.
Hey, how you doing, Al?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh, not too bad, not too bad. Hey, what I'd like to see is some of these athletes out there and entrepreneurs start creating some jobs in America, even like in Flint, instead of giving like a donation of water or a little helpful hand that way, open a factory of some sort and start selling their products in America, made by Americans rather than overseas.
I think that's a great idea. I think that's
And
a
I
great
think they
idea.
should do it. And they
No,
should
I
do it, because, go to the places you came from. Help your neighborhoods out. Build them up. Just don't talk about it and donate something to the local school. Actually, donate a job to actually make the person's life better, because we got people of all abilities out there in life. Not everybody wants to go to college, nor can. But
Right.
give them an opportunity. Give them an opportunity,
Especially as you said it come out of those communities. Thank you for your call. I think it's a good idea, but I also think government has a responsibility to do it. But I think athletes should. Everybody ought to, especially those that have more and started with less, go back and do something where you came from. Somebody helped you. Thank you for your call. I agree with that. Chuck in Virginia, 1240. You're keeping it real with Al Sharpton.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon. I think you got a wonderful program. I'm past president of the SCLC here in the Commonwealth, Virginia, Hopewell chapter. And the whole election that we just saw was not about politics. This was about, in the next 10 years, whites are going to be a minority. And the whole election was about to make everybody else a minority. So therefore, getting the immigrants out, helping the poor, that's secondary. I see myself as being threatened. It's what the white community is seeing, and that's why Donald Trump was put in office, to get rid of everybody else except for them, so they would keep them in their majority. Thank you very much for your time.
All right, thank you for your call. Tanisha in Lake Charles, Louisiana, 93.5 KPPM.
Good afternoon, Reverend Al Sharpton. Thank
Good
you for
afternoon.
your time. I appreciate
Thank you.
you taking my call. I have a lot of things that I would like to talk to you about, so maybe on another time I'll come back. But first, I just wanted to mention what Paul Ryan said, those divisive words about not wanting to work with the Democrats on health care.
Right.
It seems like the matters of the people are not the matters of his heart. It's all about self-gain, and we all know that a house divided will not stand. We must unite, and I think that it's time for the church to come forth, the chosen people of God that are called to right the errors of our day, all races and all creeds. So the troubles that Mexico face and the troubles the Muslims face, that should be our troubles as well as black people, because we understand oppression. And I just wanted to ask you, do you believe that the chosen generation that Peter spoke of is called, the ones that's called to reign with Christ 1,000 years, are we here today? And if so, when are we going to rise up and claim our inheritance as the children of Abraham?
Well, I think that we are I think that the chosen generation that is spoken of in the Bible will affirm themselves when they realize that they are chosen. Many of us, and I'm being very deliberate in how I answer this, Tanisha, and thank you for your call. Many of us have been called and never answered a call because we never realized we were called. A chosen generation must first, in their own minds, hearts, and soul, affirm that they are the chosen generation. And that will empower us. And that will have us become those that will rule for 1,000 years. But part of the job, since you're talking biblical, of demonic forces, or as we personalize it, the devil, is to make you never affirm who you were born and called to be. Which is why the first thing people that are bigots do is work on people's self-esteem and self-definition. The first thing abusers do is break down your self-confidence. If you never realize who you are, you will never become who you were meant to be. less than what you should. You'll accept even abuse and embrace it because someone has convinced you that that matches who you are. So we accept a lot because we haven't embraced being chosen. We haven't embraced being an idea that God perfected and brought into being. Everybody listening to me is a decision that God made. You didn't have to be born. There's 1,000 reasons why you could have never been conceived or been in some way aborted or interrupted before you reached birth. It was a decision that God made that you exist. Because millions of babies never were conceived. Millions of babies never finished the pregnancy and got here. So why did you and I get here? That was a divine decision that we did not make. And if God did make a mistake, and if he operates in total precision, then why would you or I be the first mistake he made? I mean, the sun never bumped into the moon. Stars never bumped into the planets. Everything works in order. So if you and I were born, we were born in order. So why are we acting like God messed up when he made us? Somebody, some spirit, has convinced us we're a mistake rather than a miracle. Just like Harriet Tubman said when she was interviewed about freeing hundreds of slaves, that I would have freed more if I could have convinced them that they were not slaves. Well, the reverse of that is they were convinced they were slaves. In order for somebody to enslave you and keep you enslaved, they have to make you over a while, over a period of time, be convinced that you are, in fact, born to be their slave. They can grab you and kidnap you and hold you for a minute, but over years and generations, they had to break you down and convince you that that's who you were supposed to be. And that's what she was saying. I had to convince them they were supposed to be free before I could bring them on an underground railroad. Someone has convinced us we can sit up in substandard housing, go into inferior schools with no health care and no power, and there's nothing we can do about it, and we ought to be happy, just get you a little beer on the weekend, get you a little buzz, get you a little joint, and you'll be all right. Someone's convinced us that's all it is, and there's nothing we can do about it. Oh, there's plenty we can do about it, and we were not born to be that. And once we realize that, not only will we become who we're supposed to be as chosen, we will change this whole nation and make it a nation of choice. But we've got to change our mind. Somewhere I read in the Bible, be ye transformed by the renewal of your mind. If you change your mind, it will upgrade your behind. Let's take a break on that. Keeping it real. Exhale Friday. Shopton. 1-877-53